Daily Mail. The Daily Mail, I should explain, is probably Britain's most infamous newspaper. So you have to take account of that. But he wrote in this, just before he died, Christopher Hitchens expressed some generous sympathy for the Christian worldview, much to the evident frustration of his interlocutor, Richard Dawkins. It's true that I did indeed conduct Christopher Hitchens' last interview for the New Statesman magazine, which I was guest editing, the Christmas issue I guest edited, and one of the things I did was to visit Christopher in Texas and interviewed him, and I can say with total certainty that he expressed absolutely no sympathy whatsoever for the Christian worldview. So that's a lie, and so is the, quote, evident frustration of Richard Dawkins. But that was a small part of the Reverend Hitchens article. Most of it was about how strident and shrill I am as compared to Christopher Hitchens. I must say that when Christopher's book, God Is Not Great, came out, I rather rubbed my hands and thought, aha, now there's somebody even more strident than me. By the way, am I being strident enough tonight? It so happens that this very question of strident and shrill came up in my interview, Christopher's last interview. I said to him, one of my main beefs with religion is the way they label children as a Catholic child or a Muslim child. I've become a bit of a bore about it, and I suppose I probably have. But I'll just be a little bit more of a bore by once again pointing out that you wouldn't dream of labeling a child a humanist child, or a communist child, or a socialist child, or a conservative child, or a radical child, or a postmodernist child. And yet our entire society is perfectly happy to hear a child described as a Catholic child, or a Muslim child. Once you hear that, once you get it, then you're never ever going to talk about a Christian child or a Muslim child ever again, and you're going to pull people up whenever you hear them say that. Say, what you're talking about is a child of Catholic parents, a child of Muslim parents. Anyway, that was the digression. I said that. Christopher Hitchens then said, you must never be afraid of that charge, any more than stridency. I said, I will remember that. And Christopher said, if I was strident, it doesn't matter. I was a jobbing hack. I bang my drum. You have a discipline, he went on about that. And then he said, stridency is the least you should muster. It's the shame of your colleagues that they don't form ranks and say, listen, we're going to defend our colleagues from these appalling and obfuscating elements. And I think that he was, in a way, appealing for academics, scientists, to come out, join the Out campaign, to come out. Don't leave us, people like us in this room, isolated and alone in what we stand for. The great majority of scientists, actually about 90% of elite scientists, scientists in the National Academy of Sciences in America, scientists in the Royal Society of London, the elite scientists, about 90% are atheists or freethinkers or secularists of one sort or another. But they don't come out and say so. And I think what Christopher was doing was appealing for scientists to stand up and join us in defending science against the obscurantists